based on what you all have done, did you see any proof of the allegations that Trump made about votes not being counted, votes coming up, all of the lies, the big lie? Did you all see any evidence, any proof of that? Because again, I've always stated that if there is an absolute undeniable flaw in the system, I clearly understand the need to change to make that process more with further integrity. So did you see a lack of integrity that coincided or agreed with, quote unquote, the big lie?
Let me tell you this. The only evidence I've seen of the fraud that they were talking about with the big lie is the evidence that we have repeatedly. The only folks that have been found doing any kind of fraud have been Trump voters. In fact, fool, the lieutenant governor in Texas, as the issue of a bounty, the offer of reward, if they could go out and find all this rampant voter fraud in Pennsylvania, and the only thing they found in Pennsylvania was two Trump voters that tried to vote multiple times. And so, no, this fraud doesn't exist. And there's and that's not just me talking. We all know that they had dozens of cases, frivolous cases that they tried to file, and they weren't able to win not a single one. Not even a win. They weren't even, in some cases, able to get past summary judgment. And some of these judges were Trump judges that wouldn't side for him. So it doesn't exist. It's nothing but a big lie. But what we know is that if you say the lie often enough and loud enough, that people will believe it, especially when those people were predisposed to believe that there's something going on with these black folks that are winning these elections and coming out in such large numbers. That's how you get to a point where you got, what is it, like 70% of Republicans, I think the number is, don't believe that Biden won the election. That's a result of them saying the big lie loud over and over often, combined with the already existing white supremacy in the people that are believing the lie.
We have about 4 minutes before the end of the segment. We want to make sure anyone who's a patron, patreon.com/like it or not, patreon.com/the BPD show. We're going to take it to the after party where there's so much more about this that we're going to discuss. And we also have there's a list of things to discuss. Brother Matt, get in there real quick. And as we get ready to get out of here.
Yeah, Brother Albright, one of the things Ben and I were talking about is when they had this special investigation to take place to look at the voting in Arizona. Tell us what ultimately, because supposedly they had an expert to come in and they were going to count the ballots and do all this stuff, and they had big money behind it. What was the end result of all of that?
Well, the end result is the expert, and it wasn't an expert. It was some fly-by-night company, cyber ninjas. You put the fate of democracy in the hands of cyber ninjas. And so they came in and did this fraud.
That's the name of them?
Twitter fingers.
That's the name. That's the name of the company. No, that's real talk.
Oh,
that's the name of the company.
That is the name. That is the name.
Yes, no.
How you call them Twitter
That's
fingers?
the name of the company.
My God.
That's the real story. So
Frontline doctors.
Ninjas,
oh my God, this is ridiculous. Please finish telling us this.
You see how ridiculous it is?
Wow.
That's how ridiculous it is. And so they come in and find nothing. They wasted all this time, wasted all this money, found nothing. In fact, they did find something. They actually found that Biden had more votes than what they thought that was reported. And so, but not only that, now cyber ninjas is now I think they're being sued or investigated. And so, but it's not just Arizona. They've done these fraudulent audits, these fraudits in several other states where, again, even the Republican officials that asked for the audits have had to come back and say nothing was found. Nothing was found in several states. That's happened. Arizona was the biggest and the most ridiculous of them, but that's happened in several states. There has been no evidence found of any fraud. No evidence found at the count. No evidence found that what Kanye West publicist tried to say, where she harassed. I know y'all know about that. Where she harassed the election worker. Yeah, and so all of this is nothing but a big lie. But it's a big lie that has implications, because then you see that lie being supported in the United States Senate. You saw it being supported. Let's not forget, in addition to the insurrection on January 6th, that you had 147, 100 and something Republicans that even after the insurrection still voted to overturn the election, including 6 or so members of the Senate. The same Senate that was having this debate. So the big lie is in the U.S. Senate, where they are voting and making policy or not making policy based on the big lie. You got people running for office, including in Arizona, but in other states, I think Trump has endorsed like 160 something folks. Some of them are running for governorships. Some of them are running for Secretary of State. And their platform is that they would not have certified the last election. They are literally running on an insurrectionist platform. This is not a joke.